The convention, as we said, is special and contains our excitement. We are happy to be here to discuss issues relevant to the power movement of USAA. Of Royal Highness Queen Diana Williams, members of the board of directors, our mothers headed by Mother Miller City, the concerned Sargbeh elders headed by Reverend John C. Bullard, the concerned members of the Sargbeh community headed by Honorable Edith Ward, our National Vice President, Honorable Rose Salitafen, our chapter presidents, members of the Leadership Commission headed by Honorable Thomas Sewan, members of the Convention Committee headed by Honorable Osiris Goa, invited guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I'm pleased to please join me for a moment of silence in remembrance of our fallen leaders of USDA and other fallen members of the Sargbeh community. May the soul of the departed rest in perfect peace. On behalf of members of the board of directors, I bring you greetings and wish to extend words of thanks and appreciation to you for generously and graciously resolving to uphold and support the bylaws and constitution of USAA. Today we congregated within this convention hall in response to the call that you made in Fargo, North Dakota during the 2019 convention. That is to attend the convention in Jacksonville, Florida. We are excited. Robert Bott states, and I quote, "When a man makes an oath, he is putting his own self in his hand like water. You promised to come to Jacksonville, Florida to attend the National Convention. Today you are here. Again, thank you very much for fulfilling the promise made. We are very proud of you. We view the National Convention in Jacksonville, Florida, historic as such. We would like to encourage all of us to keep our lenses on the word of Benjamin Franklin, which states, resolve to perform without fear what you resolve. As a group, we resolve to support the dream of the founders of USAA, the founder dream that focused on unity and soliciting support to help the Sargbeh people. At this convention, our honest plea to all of us is that we should try our best to make positive actions, to take positive actions. Actions that have the potential to put a check to issues that we believe have the potential to promote manipulation, deception, and disinformation. Please join us to explore what it takes to strengthen our resolve. After the State of Union address, we would like to engage in a conversation that focuses on the purpose for which we formed this union. our commitment, our determination to resolve whatever we consider as a problem within the union is paramount. We believe that there is a need to take action that have the potential to strengthen our resolve. What we will do at this convention in Jacksonville will prepare us to accomplish our goals, achieve our objectives, and it will also help us to put our resolve into action. Without reflecting our resolve, we will be moving the vision and mission of USAA like a ship without a rudder, drifting aimlessly on the ocean of life. Members of the United Sargbeh Association in the Americas, we have the courage of our conviction. We doubtless know that our actions are steering towards our goal. When we are unhesitating, focused, fearless, our resolve will perform its beautiful task, guiding us to our objective, goals, and achievement. During the period under review, the Board of Directors' level of resolve to foster and promote the dreams of the founder of USA is constant and consistent with the non-profit law of the United States of America and the bylaws and Constitution of USA. Please permit us at this moment to share with you the state of our union, USAA, our noble organization. We would like to clearly state that our union is at a crossroad. However, we work with our elders, concerned members of the union, to resolve what we consider as a problem, but to no avail. As such, we would like to kindly report to you the General Assembly as follows. During the period under review, from 2017 to present, the Board of Directors giving up fiduciary responsibility, work with the membership, but unfortunately experienced some difficulties in providing oversight over the executive committee headed by Mr. Green Jr., National President, who according to the bylaw and Constitution of USA, term of office ended in August 2020. When you look around in the hall, with the exception of the National Vice President, Honorable God Sally Taffen, and Mr. Cooley Morris, Mr. Gilio, and the other members of the Executive Committee elected with Mr. Gilio are now with us. We believe that their absence present what brought us at this crossroad. Please join us to thank Honorable God Staffen and Honorable Cooley Morris for attending. We would also like to ask Honorable Taffen and Honorable Morris to please join us in having a conversation that will create an enabling environment that have the potential to making some improvement to the ways we conduct business within USA. We are all human. The presence of Mr. Gideon and his team will have a change of the story. Cognizance of our fiduciary duties and responsibility, we are pleased to outline some of the progress made, problems encountered, and all that we learned during the period. Progress made. The Board of Directors highlighted the bylaw and Constitution of USAA and the Sargbeh culture and a sense of unity in discharge of its fiduciary responsibility. refusal to implement the scholarship awarded to the students. The board of directors approved the travel allowance of Mr. Gideon for a groundbreaking of the nursing quarter in Belugopri, Johnson Sargbeh District, Sano County. The board of directors also provided oversight over the executive during the construction of nursing quarter that you approved in North Dakota by providing the amount of $30,000 for the construction of the clinic, of the nursing quarter. The board of directors ensured that the convention to be held in Jacksonville, Florida is held, and you are here. The board of directors provided oversight over the executive committee in the establishment of a new chapter, the Iowa chapter. The board of directors also provided oversight in providing financial support to some sick and bereaved families, namely the Carlos family. When as a community, we lost Honorable Samuel Carlos, former superintendent of Johnson District, Sano County, Republic of Liberia. The board also provided oversight in providing financial support to the Yipan family. When as a community, we lost Honorable Yipan, former senator of Sano County and former minister of Public Works, Republic of Liberia. The board of directors also provided oversight in identifying with the National Vice President Gonzalo Taven by providing financial support when he was very, very ill. Given the many infractions committed, such as unauthorized withdrawal of money from the bank, the board of directors officially informed the executive committee to avoid conducting business in the name of USAA. Copies of the communication to the executive committee are available and were discussed also on social media. If you would like copies, we will be glad to give you copies. Problems encountered. Mr. Gideon, president of the United South Association, who term of office ended in August, engaged in making the appointments of members of the standing committee and the Iowa committee unilaterally, that is, without the consent of the board of directors. The board of directors encouraged Mr. Gideon to set up a national election commission in preparation for the convention 3 months prior to COVID pandemic, and he refused. Mr. Gideon submitted a payment voucher in the amount of $45,000 to the National Treasurer, Darius Moen, representing payment request for the construction of nursing quarter. In Mr. Gideon's request, he stated that payment requests were authorized by the Chamber of the Board of Directors, Mr. Esau Sargbeh. According to Mr. Gideon, the amount represents full payment in favor of the contractor, Mr. Nama, for the construction of nursing quarter, previously approved by the General Assembly during the North Carolina Convention. Unfortunately for him, the National Treasurer, Mr. Moen, quickly informed the Board of Directors, and after investigation, the Board of Directors issued a stop payment to the request made by Mr. Gideon, because the payment request was not authorized by the Board of Directors. Therefore, Mr. Gideon became uncomfortable with the members of the Board of Directors. Please note that before Mr. Gideon traveled to Liberia for the groundbreaking of the nursing quarter, the Board of Directors encouraged him to contact contractors and conduct interviews with them and select at least 3 contractors and report to the Board of Directors for final vetting and subsequent approval. Unfortunately, he refused to follow the directive given. Instead, he signed a contract with Mr. Norman for the construction of the nursing quarter. After signing the contract, he presented the contract document to the Board of Directors for approval. The Board of Directors raised questions about his failure to follow the directive. But after an appeal to the Board of Directors by Mr. Charles Proji, a member of the Board of Directors, to accept the contract document, according to him, the project was USA's first major project to be carried out in Liberia. The Board of Directors thought there was a need to work together in meeting the needs of our people. As such, the board agreed with Mr. Proji, but with some conditions. That is, to review the contract document and the reason that led to Mr. Gideon's refusal to follow the directive of the Board of Directors. After the review of the document and investigation of the process, the Board of Directors called Mr. Gideon's attention to problems that the board discovered within the contract document, such as misspelled words and wrong sentences. The Board of Directors advised Mr. Gideon to work with the contractor to rewrite the document because the contract document contained a lot of mistakes. Mr. Gideon refused to follow up with the contractor for months. In short, for the sake of peace and unity, Dr. Fallon intervened positively by traveling to Liberia and contacting Mr. Norman in his very branch in the county, and subsequently encouraging him to travel to Monrovia and personally pay for all travel costs associated with his moving to Monrovia and staying in Monrovia. Thank you, Mr. Talley. The contract document was modified to some extent, and a drawing or plan of the nursing quarter was designed by a draftsman that the Board of Directors recommended to help out with the project. With the active involvement of the Board of Directors, we have a nursing quarter today that the team claims. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the Board of Directors approved the amount of $10,000 as a relief package for the Sargbeh people in Monrovia and rural Liberia. That is, our people in Sino and Grand Gideon counties. Mr. Gideon refused to send the relief items, and the Board of Directors to present is yet to get a report on the $10,000. During the death of Honorable Mahmoud Yiban, a teleconference was held, and a delegation was selected to attend the funeral of Honorable Yiban. The delegation comprised of one member of the Board of Directors and member of the Executive Committee. The travel allowance were approved by the Board of Directors in the amount of $2,000 each for Honorable Gustaven, who was selected by the Executive Committee, and Honorable Kalejengele Foley, who was also selected by the Board of Directors to attend the funeral. Unfortunately, Mr. Gideon denied Honorable Kalejengele the travel allowance and gave the National Vice President his travel allowance in the amount of $2,000 to travel to Liberia. Mr. Gideon is here to report to the Board of Directors why he did not give Honorable Kalejengele travel allowance to travel to Liberia and attend the funeral. After the completion of the nursing quarter, instead of Mr. Gideon reporting to the General Assembly about the completion of the nursing quarter and get the advice of the General Assembly about the next step to take, because the amount of $30,000 that was approved was exclusively for the construction of this quarter. Mr. Gideon presented a version to the Otago, Liberia. We do not know the total amount withdrew for the national account because Mr. Gideon has not submitted financial report to the board of directors. Please note, and we repeat, the board of directors of the president does not know the total amount that was withdrawn for the national account because Mr. Gideon has not provided a report to the board of directors. Given the news of this agreement between the board of directors and the executive committee, the concerned elders, headed by Honorable Reverend John C. Black, and the concerned members of the community, headed by Honorable Edie Power, initiated a mediation process for about 10 months. Unfortunately, the team became frustrated because all recommendations that were presented by Mr. Gideon and member of the executive committee, such as granting him authority to appoint the National Election Commission and preside over the National Convention, was rejected. The board of directors, considering of judicial responsibility, agreed in principle with all recommendations that the mediating committee presented to the board of directors for consideration. The mediating committee viewed the position of the board of directors as positive, thereby supporting the board of directors to set up the National Election Commission and preside over the National Convention. The board of directors honorably accepted the mandate of the mediating committee, and today we are here in Jacksonville, Florida. In the presence of National Assembly, I would like to thank the mediating team for their time and effort in working with us in finding solutions to the problem that engulfed the union. We thank you, and may God Almighty bless us as we engage in conversation to move the union forward. I thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the State of the Union address by Honorable Esau Sargbeh.